So how are you feeling right now at the Impact Awards?
Yeah, super nice. It's great to be here, great to be downtown LA and celebrating something that has impact at its core.
So you're a filmmaker. How is it different being at an event that's more about like companies and brands and agencies? How does the film come into that aspect?
Yeah, I mean, we're all for amplification, right? And the more that filmmakers can partner with great brands and great non-profits to do work that expands what people think of as content and what people think of when it comes to impact, collaboration is the answer for everything.
Collaborating between a marketer and a filmmaker, how important is that, and what are the differences and what are the similarities between the two?
Yeah, I mean, it's essential. Anytime you want to actually have an impact, you have to tell a compelling story, right? And so having there's no limit now for brands in terms of how they can connect with people. And so if they can do it in an authentic way that partners with someone who's doing a lot of good in the world, then to me that's the truest form of storytelling, because you're operating in the real world, enhancing the lives of real people, and that's only a good direction to go in.
That's so cool. How's the film coming along?
Good. So the film for Tomorrow is out. People can watch it now on YouTube even, but on Amazon Prime as well, celebrating the work of grassroots innovators all over the world. And then we've got a couple more ones coming out next week actually, called The Hidden Power of Purpose, about how we each find our purpose in a different way and take different paths to get there, and also the science looking at how our bodies and our brains benefit from pursuing a life of purpose and meaning.
So you talked about that on the It's No Fluke podcast, that film that you did with Sarah. Right. So how was your experience on the podcast?
It was great. You know, anytime you get that additional time to explain something that you've worked on or to share some space with someone as important as the people who are doing WIT, whatever it takes to with teenage entrepreneurs making the world a better place. Anytime you can kind of share a stage with someone like that and get her voice out there, it's fun, right? It's always fun. Like, we don't often get to talk personally when we're doing our projects, so having a chance to break it down and talk about the behind the scenes is also really nice.
Self-promotion is much needed, is that right? We often forget to promote ourselves.
We do. We get so busy doing the work that we forget to talk about it. So every time you get a legitimate opportunity to talk about it in a meaningful way with people who care is really nice.
Just won a Shorty Award. How are you feeling? Congratulations.
Feeling very proud of the team. They've worked super hard over a lot of years, and so they deserve the recognition, and it's so nice to be here with so many other people doing such great impact work.
Definitely. Tell us a little bit about your campaign.
Sure. It's called For Tomorrow, and it's a collaboration between Hyundai Motor Company and the United Nations Development Program. And basically it celebrates the work of grassroots innovators around the world. So people who are solving local problems because it's necessary for them. And then we're amplifying those stories through Sid Lee, the creative agency, out of their Montreal office, and our team at the Nation of Artists.
Thank you for doing what you do. I think that's very important work. Looking back on your journey up until now, is there anything that you would have done differently, or what advice would you give to your past self?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would just say don't be afraid to try. There are always people at the same level that you're at who would love to collaborate on something. So don't be afraid to tell people what you want to be accomplishing and what you want to be working on, because the more you can do that, the more it gives a chance for other people to identify that they want to come along on the journey with you.
Definitely. What do you feel like people misunderstand about you the most, or about your campaign the most?
I don't know that they misunderstand it necessarily, but I think we would love them to celebrate every facet of it. There's an online component and a platform where we highlight the work of people around the world doing incredible projects all over the place. And then there's short form content that they can see on YouTube, or they can go to fortomorrow.org and get linked up to everything. And then there's a feature documentary as well, which is really beautiful. And so if they can invest the time and watch that on Amazon Prime or on YouTube, then For Tomorrow 2030, check it out, because it's really pretty.